Okay. There we go. I could probably go faster. Not much. It's not going to go much faster because I'm thinking we're running up against firmware limits, and it is getting a mite wobbly up there. Let's slow it down to 250. See if that makes any difference. So we're at 12.4 millimeters and we slowed it down. But we're 24 minutes into the, 24 minutes into the print. The layers look much better after the belt tightening, other than running it at ludicrous speed is not helping anything. But the layers look really so. There's the benchy after tightening the belts, and you can see a little bit of ringing right around the porthole there. Just if I get it right. There it is. Right there. On that side, the other side too. But other than that, I mean, just a hint of ringing right at the start-stop points. Other than that, I'm very, very happy. This turned out really nice. Nice, clean benchy. For moving that much print bed and stuff around, I'm really happy with that. I've got another owl. I've got this exact same owl printed in this same material, but at normal speeds, and it looks really good. So that's kind of why I wanted to do a speed test and see if we can see how much difference it makes. So that's, I slowed it down to 14 or 250% speed, and we're at 14.6 millimeters. I'll let it go another millimeter. We'll go to 15, and we'll slow it down to 200%. Then maybe we can see a little bit of change as we go up the model. It doesn't take long for a layer at this speed. All right, so 15.4. We'll go down to 200. Let it go 3 millimeters more, and we'll go to 150. Boy, it sounds a little bit happier at a little slower speed. So 200% would be only 80 millimeters a second. That's not too bad. That's a decent print speed. It doesn't have too much ringing. Wow. It being so cold out here in the garage, that is some extreme cooling. The bottom tips of those feathers just freeze out in the middle of nowhere. The cooling duct, it's an amazing amount of air that thing pushes out. And I'm surprised it works as well as it does. It seems pretty happy there. I think I'll let it go for quite a while at 200%. 300 was a bit much. So did the other stream, did it completely freeze up there right after that, right after I cranked it up to 300%? Let me let this go like halfway up the body and crank it down to 100%. It is a little bit chattery. It's not as crisp looking as it should be. We'll go down to 100%. What the hell? It's a lot of dial twiddling. Oh man, wow, that sounds slow now. Okay, yeah, our feed rate's 100%. Yeah, so I also tightened up the Y belt quite a bit too, because when I cranked up the speed, you could see it shaking around pretty good. So it's really tight now. So I probably should try and get the X a lot tighter than it is. Which I think I should be able to. Okay. So I got to go revamp the STL for my filament bracket. That's too thin. That's the one I have posted up on Thingiverse. So I'll have to rework that a little bit more, because this one's actually a little stronger. I'll repost that and put up my new X belt tensioner brackety things. Get that revamped today. Then I may have to start thinking about making an actual video where I'm not moving the camera around and stuff, and go through a complete setup guide so people can set these things up and not be so frustrated. Well, so while it will print at like 200 and 250%, so be 80 and 120 millimeters a second. Print is a lot nicer down at about 40. The printer seems much happier too. But I guess it just depends on what you're doing. If you were doing a big helmet or something that you were going to sand and paint, you know, as long as the layers stick together, I would not have any problem cranking it up to about 100 millimeters a second. Next thing would be to test is do it with like fat layers. Use a 0.6 millimeter layer width and maybe a 0.22 or 0.24 millimeter height, and see if the extruder can keep up pushing that much plastic. My guess is that it can. The other thing about this extruder design is there's no tensioner, so pretty much it's this set tension. You can squeeze this to release pressure, but you cannot adjust it. And I've seen a couple posts on the Facebook group where this back in here, back at the backside where it pivots, has cracked, and that extruder lever tension arm has broken because it's just a plastic piece.